Joe.
What?
You know what they always say?
What do they say?
Third time is the charm.
The third?
This is our third episode of Joe and Shob 2.0. We are on Google Play. We are on iTunes. I don't know about Stitcher yet.
We're getting there.
But we have avenues. We have avenues now. We got roads we're going down. Streets, valleys, rivers, avenues, park places. Yeah, all of those. We got places we're going. Make sure you check us out on Google Play and iTunes and YouTube, because that's where we are right now.
Please
Make sure you follow us on Twitter.
Please do.
That's all the places that you can check out Joe and Shob. We're going to be putting stuff out on all those services, so don't you worry. So now we are going to get on to our third episode, the third time's the charm episode, aka the best episode so far of the entire Joe and Shob show.
Yeah. So
in 3, 2. Oh, you
already started.
You already started. Okay.
So we had before we get into the Raw and the SmackDown and stuff, I actually wanted to talk about a couple non-WWE things.
Okay.
Because honestly, for every good thing that WWE's starting to do right now, there's some interesting stuff going on in other places too. And we're starting to. New Japan's actually starting to expand into the U.S., so I'm curious to see where it goes. So, first thing is it's semi-related to that, but Cody Rhodes is the new Ring of Honor champion. I don't know. I don't think that happened. No. It happened after we recorded the show last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cody Rhodes is the new Ring of Honor champion, and a Ring of Honor world champion. And you said, yeah, Daniel Bryan tweeted at him with a little congratulations thing, and also like, oh, is he gonna come back?
Yeah, he said, oh man, if you go longer than 462 days, then you can see, is how long Daniel Bryan's Ring of Honor world title reign was. He'll be back to face him in 462 days if he outreigns him. I don't know what the word is. Has a longer reign than him.
Right.
So Daniel Bryan is openly talking about wrestling again.
Yeah. Although, I think it's mostly just like it was like a jab, like a
fun thing to do. Yeah.
I don't think
it was just him having fun. I'm not sure how serious he's taking it.
Right. We still don't know his whole mindset behind that.
His status. I don't know. It's something you could talk about forever, honestly. He's back now, and it seems like he's having a good place as a GM again.
Mm-hmm. We really don't know, and I don't think we will know until, honestly, his contract's up, or unless we hear something about him re-signing, honestly.
When is his contract up? I have no idea.
He said like a year and a half a couple months ago. Remember that?
So
like on Talking Smack,
a year and a month or two, basically.
I don't know, but remember on Talking Smack, he was talking to The Miz, and he told The Miz that a year and a half he'd be right. This is before WrestleMania. He said this.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
But yeah, Cody Rhodes is the Ring of Honor champion now, Ring of Honor World Champion, and going into the New Japan America shows, he's going to be challenging Okada for the IWGP Championship,
which is a match I might watch.
Interesting because, it's going to be the first big Okada title. He's been having these great matches recently, but this is going to be his first big match in the U.S. And I'm very interested to see how this plays out and how, if New Japan will sort of change their tone while they're in the U.S. or if it'll stay the same. Because they just unveiled the United States Championship, and they're going to have a tournament to crown that, which I hope Jay Lethal wins personally. I like Jay Lethal, but I think Kenny Omega will win that probably, but whatever. But I'm curious to see where it goes. I really don't know where that will go. It's hard to see that changing a lot, and not only that, but New Japan also has their tournament every year. It's called the G1 Climax, and it's basically the winner. It's like sort of like the Royal Rumble, except it's like a tournament. And the winner goes to Wrestle Kingdom to face the IWGP champion. And a couple interesting things here. So, at some point, during the tournament, we're going to get Okada and Kenny Omega number 3, which is a non-title match. We're going to get another one, which is interesting. But yeah, it's things are heating up, and I definitely want to start paying attention more. I don't know if I know it's on New Japan and all that. It's on Access TV. Which I don't know if I don't know if I have it or not. I've been looking into it, but it's like I don't know. So we'll see where that goes. But
this sounds like stuff I'd actually watch. Definitely Cody Rhodes versus Okada.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, I don't watch a ton of indie stuff, so I was kind of lost here. But I might check it out as long as I get links or something like that. I don't know.
My worry is that New Japan's sort of going to be just a sort of the indies in the U.S., because in Japan they're huge, but not here. They're not. So I'm curious to see like how well they'll do over here. I hope they do well. So.
Yeah, I think it'll be a big deal. I was in New York, and the PlayStation Theater is in Times Square, and there was actually like a graphic, like an advertisement for when New Japan Pro Wrestling was coming, and it was advertising Okada and it was advertising Kenny Omega. Why did I forget his name? So I think it's a pretty big deal in my opinion. So like people see that every day. So I'm sure New Japan's going to do great here.
Oh yeah.
All right. The only other news, it's barely worth talking about, but apparently Alberto Del Rio and Paige broke up potentially. Maybe they're a mess. They're
hilarious.
A huge mess.
It's hilarious.
It's really funny actually. No one thought that. Are they married?
Not yet. I don't know.
All right. No one thought that they weren't going to. Like, come on.
Watch all of Alberto's drunken rants, and they're all amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And happier news,
if
though,
they are broken up, hey, maybe Paige makes a comeback. But do you want her to make a comeback at this point?
I don't know. I think
she has to be like a totally different person because
if she
the women the women's landscape she's coming back to, like she would have to like forgive everyone else, or everyone else would have to forgive her because she's coming back and like making everyone else look bad. I don't know. She sucks. I don't know.
Yeah, as long as she's away from Alberto, I honestly wouldn't really care if she came back. But like Alberto Del Rio is just a horrible influence on her. You can just tell. Not that I mean. Yeah. Sure, she's probably not helping.
He's a good character and wrestler, but he's kind of the worst person ever. Not ever, but I don't know.
He's up there. He attacked his brother in a police station. Had to get his ankles cuffed. So that's something.
Oh, ankles cuffed. Yeah. They skip the hands.
All
right. So.
And in happier news, Mauro Ranallo is announcing on NXT now.
Oh yeah, that's the news I was thinking about. I'm not sure if this is very respectful to him because it's like, oh, you get bullied and then you get put on the lesser show. But
hey, I don't know because
I'm not him, so I'm sure he wouldn't take this unless he felt right about it.
He still gets to be in WWE, gets to call WWE stuff, and he gets to do boxing.
Yeah,
that's important.
So I'm sure everything's better now, especially he's not with JBL. So
yeah, and it's like less
more
stressful.
power to him.
Yeah, I'm happy though.
Also, you don't have to travel as much, so I would take that. All right. So TV wasn't quite what it was last week.
It's still all right though. I thought it was decent.
It was still pretty good. It
was decent.
Last week it was like great on both shows, and this week we had a women's Money in the Bank title match, so that elevates it already like almost right away. But I thought everything was pretty good. Was there any like standout stuff from Raw you think's worth talking about?
I think there's one thing
what is that?
Very standing that stands out a lot.
Oh, does it have anything to do with a basketball player?
It does, and his dad.
All right, so I happen to have warned you about this. That I said, looks like LeVar Ball, which if you don't know LeVar Ball, you really shouldn't if you're a wrestling fan. He is running rampant in sports media. Honestly, he's not even like he hasn't done anything. I'm not I won't make anything political, but a lot of people have made this this observation as well that he has Donald Trumped his way to popularity. Like he just talks big shit, and then people either go, wow, who is this guy? Like, I'm going to pay attention to him because he's just talking big shit and he's kind of crazy. Like, this guy's crazy. Or people pay attention to him because they hate him and they just pay attention to what he's going to say that they get mad at. This guy has no reason to be relevant, but he's making himself relevant. So I actually give him those props. I think he's doing an even better job than the Kardashians to make himself hated. Like, this guy is a real life wrestling heel. He just says stuff like to either get himself notoriety or whatever. Like, this woman was telling him something about his son, like maybe not getting drafted to this team, and he said, "Stay in your lane." Pretty sexist, whatever. And that his son was wearing a "Stay in Your Lane" shirt on Raw, so that's where that comes from. And his son also said profanity and words that don't belong on TV anymore. But you and I both already know about that. You heard it, right?
Oh, whenever Levar was like,
no, it was LaMelo.
Oh, what did he say?
You didn't know?
When he dropped the N-word?
Oh, yeah. It was his son, LaMelo.
I thought that was
LeVar. It was his son.
Oh, really?
Yeah. His son, LaMelo Ball. He's 15 years old. He's going to be drafted in a few years.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was LaMelo. I thought it was LeVar.
He was the guy with the crazy blonde
I
hair.
know. Because the other one's actually good at basketball, and I recognize him.
He's not even that great at basketball. He didn't win a college championship this year. In his first workout with the Lakers, they were like, "Oh, I'm not very impressed." Anyways, this has nothing to do with wrestling, but they obviously put him on here as a ratings draw because people pay attention to him. This guy's a real life heel, like not a wrestling heel. This guy literally takes heel tactics and then uses them to become famous. He has like a $500 shoe, and like he does anything to be this like lavish asshole. So honestly, having him on wrestling is not a terrible idea, but they have to make it fit right. And here it was just really weird. He takes his shirt off and starts doing a bunch of karate shit. And honestly, this was really entertaining. This whole segment's extremely entertaining because it's so fucking weird.
That's how I would describe it too. A lot of people were saying it's bad. I didn't think it was bad because it was harmless. It was short. It was like 5 minutes. It was just weird.
I think having the Miz out there too was the best decision they could have made because no one else could have handled it. Like, he's so good at talking. No one else could have handled having LeVar Ball out there.
Oh no!
Like, imagine Baron Corbin and LeVar Ball.
LeVar,
you think he could have handled that situation?
I'm Mr. Money in the Bank, and you can't even. You know what? You might as well just hand over the NBA championships to me right now because I could beat you 1-on-1. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually understand why they did it because they were in the Staples Center, which is the home of the Lakers, and Lonzo Ball just got drafted to the Lakers. Makes sense. They're like, oh, this will be a good way to get people to pay attention. Even my dad was like, oh yeah, I saw that LeVar Ball's son said the N-word on Raw, and I was like, oh wow, yeah. As a ratings draw, yeah, cheap ratings draw. No, it was no big deal. I thought overall it was entertaining though. Like,
yeah,
it was better than having a squash match. This was entertaining. I actually didn't mind it.
It really wasn't that bad. People, I think, are going a little too hard on it, and I don't know. It was harmless. The segment really was harmless.
I'm gonna my cuckoo clock's and cuckoo. Start talking about something else.
I wanted to talk about this a little bit more. But yeah, you told me last week that he sells like an $800 shoe, and I was like, all right. I didn't know who he was, so I was like, all right, this guy's gonna be like a Kanye type, where he like thinks he's like amazing, or he's gonna be crazy. And yeah, he's definitely crazy. Like the Kanye type would come out, and the Kanye type wouldn't even show up. Basically, is what I'm saying. But yeah, the segment was just really weird. It wasn't.
It didn't really fit. Like, it just felt like it was this weird one-off little moment. Apparently, they had plans to do stuff more, but since his son, said stuff that wasn't very good. I mean, you gave him open mic to a 15-year-old on
Why was he even there?
TV. I don't know. His son was the only person. His other son is the only person who ever needed to be there. But whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just saw something that was funny.
Pretty much whatever. That's what I would say. I wouldn't say it was that bad though. That's all I'm gonna say.
we'll remember this segment. He took his shirt off and was doing a bunch of karate shit, and his son said the N-word, and then Dean Ambrose comes out and goes, "I like free shirts." I mean, it's so weird.
The segment ended so awkwardly. I don't like that. Honestly, that was the most awkward part of the segment. It's just because I was watching it live and I'm like, "What?" And then he takes his shirt off and I'm like, "Oh, they're gonna send Dean out any second." And there he goes, and his music hits.
It literally ends out of nowhere.
He
and
starts,
Dean just goes, "I like shirts. Yeah. I like free shirts."
He starts talking.
No one has bigger balls than Dean Ambrose.
Well,
which I guess coincides with Great Balls of Fire.
Right.
I don't know, dude. This was funny,
and
though.
Dean comes out, starts talking. I don't know who interrupts him, but like interrupts him. And there's like a moment of silence where he's like, and then he like says that, and he's like, "I like free t-shirts." And then his music plays, and I'm like, wait, that was the punchline.
Who was the person that he was trying to say get out of the ring? Was it Miz or Dean Ambrose? Because oh shit, my mic's going crazy.
Whoa, what the heck was that?
That was my mic.
An alien invasion.
Oh, it's still doing it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose comes out and he's like, "Get that ass out of the ring." You know, I don't know if he was trying to say Miz or Dean, but anyways, weird ass segment.
Yep.
Wow. We'll remember it in the pantheon of Raw moments of this year. I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, it was worth happening.
Yeah,
it was probably one of the highlights of the show as far as like entertainment goes.
Yeah.
So, what other big stuff happened? We had Finn Balor and the Hardys teaming up.
Yeah, their entrance was really cool. Fun tag match. Everyone got to do.
I actually see them teaming up more in the future.
Yeah, they're honestly. I could see like Jeff and Finn doing their paint. You know. And then Matt
I think that's good for them too, because I mean they're really over faces, and Finn needs to do something because right now he's not really doing anything. He's feuding with Elias Sampson.
Honestly, I'd rather see this 6-man tag again at Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, it could be fun. Cesaro and Sheamus need to do stuff too, but that rarely ever happens.
And they almost did a trio song there with Elias Sampson, and it got interrupted. I thought that was like I saw them set up for that, where all three of them were in the ring and Elias was just sitting there, and Cesaro and Sheamus were just like, "Yeah, we're gonna sing." I'm like, "Oh God, this is gonna be amazing."
Yeah, I'm not sure. Still don't care that much about Elias Sampson, but we'll see. Maybe.
Yeah, he didn't care about Braun Strowman.
I didn't care about Braun Strowman. What Elias Sampson just so out of nowhere though.
I don't think. I don't know.
Last. He was never. I don't know. I don't think he'll last either. I think in 8 months he'll be jobbing, is my opinion.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Samoa Joe.
It's a fun team up for the future, I think.
Oh yeah. I agree.
By the way, Samoa Joe's making himself look big, making himself heard. I enjoy that. I like that.
I love that. Brock Lesnar gets introduced. He comes out. Then Joe puts a cocaine clutch in him, and no matter like how hard Brock tries to fight him off, he just can't do it. You know?
Yeah. By the way, Brock's face was getting so red. I actually believed that he was doing what he was doing. I was like, all right.
He
looked like he was being strangled.
It felt real. Yeah. He was turning purple.
Obviously. Yeah. He looked like he was being choked, which, I'm not saying I like to see, but it also makes it a lot more believable. So I liked seeing this, which I just said I didn't say, but they don't even need to do anything more. I'm going to be excited for this match. There's only like a Raw or two more. Might be one more Raw before Great Balls of Fire. They just have like a little one-off thing. We'll see, but this match is going to be like giant versus giant.
Right.
And the build so far has actually been in Samoa Joe's favor, which makes me think maybe Brock will win, but Samoa Joe looking good will never be a problem. Will never be a bad thing.
He's going to come out of this match looking great.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of like the Undertaker WrestleMania matches. Like he'd win all of them, but the other guy would look good coming out of a match with the Undertaker. I don't know if that's I know that's like a big comparison. I don't know if we're gonna get that from this match, but that's like best case scenario,
Yeah. I don't see this going bad for Samoa Joe. I mean, even if he doesn't win the title, it's like he's better off than Finn Balor, who's not doing anything.
I know.
And Seth Rollins is at least, I guess, feuding with Bray. I don't know.
And you can't end up worse off than Dean Ambrose after his Brock Lesnar feud. So,
that
bar is low.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar can make or break you if you lose.
Depends how bad you lose.
I don't think it's going to be a squash match, though.
No way.
There are some people who are saying that it just makes me go crazy.
I don't think it will.
So we had a women's number one contenders match.
Yeah.
And it actually main evented, which was crazy. I'm not sure I liked how it was booked, though. Do you like what they did?
Pre Sasha Banks, I thought it was like, I mean, I understood why they did it. It was a little.
I understood why they did it too, but it did nothing to better anybody, and it made no sense. Right. Nia Jax, the entire time she's been on the roster, has been treated like a big deal, and you can't really deny that. It's true. She's been treated like a big deal. At WrestleMania, they needed 3 people to take her out to get her the first person eliminated. They're like, oh man, she's a big deal. All 3 people need to focus on her. And look, in this match, she won every single one to make her look like a big deal. And then she still doesn't win. Like, they want to make her look like a big deal, but also lose. So it's like she's a big deal underdog. It's so weird, and it doesn't make sense, and I don't like it. I don't want them to do.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of how they book Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Where, like, he's a big deal, and he's probably going to be a big deal, but like they're just waiting to pull the trigger, and they just haven't done it yet, so they keep doing this kind of stuff. But
yeah, I don't really though want to see them do anything with Nia Jax either, because very recently she's been someone who doesn't like to but botches. She did a botched shoulder breaker to Charlotte and looked like she almost killed her. So I don't know. I just don't think she's ready. But they still make her look like a big deal and then don't do anything with her. And now Sasha Banks is the number one contender. And I wanted this feud, but I just don't feel like it's being set up well.
I'm excited for this match. I Alexa and Sasha. We haven't heard anything about it, but as of like forever ago, they had a lot. They
hated each other.
Yeah, they had a lot of heat between them. But now, I'm really excited to just see this match. I think it'll be better than the Bayley match. If it's not better than the Bayley match, then I don't know. Maybe think about taking the title off Alexa. But,
yeah, she hasn't really done a ton.
No,
sadly, I don't think it's entirely her fault, though. I think it has part to do with Bayley. A lot to do with Bayley, actually, because Bayley's downfall since she's been feuding with Alexa only makes Alexa look bad too. Yeah, and that's the only person she really feuded with. By the way, Bayley comes out first in this number one contenders weird turmoil match, whatever you want to call it, and loses.
Yep.
Wow. I really they haven't listened to anybody. That she is really, 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 really. Sometimes this word gets thrown around. And when it's not true, she's buried right now.
Oh yeah. Did you see the Bayley's biggest fan, like the little girl?
Yeah. She was wearing Alexa Bliss stuff.
Yep. Oh, that's how you know that's how you know she's buried.
That's amazing. Well, yeah. I don't know. I read something that said she's in a weird part of her career right now, and it's like, well, yeah.
Yeah. So is
So is who?
So is I don't know any other. So is Kurt Hawkins. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. The only way they can do this is they make a storyline about how she's never won the title clean, and then she builds up until she gets a title match, and it's all about her winning the title legit, just her, and that's what they make a storyline out of.
One thing I will say about this match, though, is that I thought the Sasha Banks Nia Jax section of it was incredible. I really, really dug the ending. Nia's just beating the crap out of Sasha, but she keeps staying in it. She's resilient, and I loved how it really did feel like a Sasha's small, Nia's big. It felt like a big versus little woman kind of match. Sasha was crawling all over at the end for the bank statement. She finally got it. It was just a really good ending, I thought. And the rest of the gauntlet match, I don't know if I would say the same about it. But I thought the ending was great. I thought it was perfect.
I don't disagree. I mean, I liked it, but I just don't like the booking of it. I thought Emma was going to come back and kind of be a big deal. Or not a big deal, well, at least something. No, she's not anything. Bayley, who's supposed to be a big deal, nothing with her. Dana Brooke instantly pinned. Wow, that was pretty funny.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with
Mickey James hasn't been anything. I don't know. It's a lot of that. A lot of weird booking with the women.
Mm-hmm.
The women's stuff on SmackDown's a lot better, at least booking wise. So
it really is.
Whatever.
We can agree on that.
Maybe it'll get better here. So what else happened on Raw?
We had more Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt. Yeah, who cares? Wyatt is.
Why do you not care about this? Oh, because you know Bray Wyatt's going to get buried.
And
not
it's
buried,
also,
but not going to win.
It's also just every Bray Wyatt feud is the same thing.
Yeah, it's always like, oh man, you're on the rise and you think you're really big, but you're not. You're going to burn. And then he loses.
Even in simpler terms, it's just
he faces like a main eventer and then loses.
Bray interferes in a guy's match. The guy loses. Next week, guy comes out and says, Bray Wyatt, what are you doing? Bray Wyatt appears on the Titantron and says, look, man, I don't want to do that, but I had to. And then they just have promos, just normal promos for the next 4 weeks. And then they have a pay-per-view match. And that's it. That's every Bray Wyatt feud, pretty much, except for
Randy
honest.
Orton. That is why I'm not interested in Bray Wyatt. He's just not someone I care about.
I don't care about him anymore. I want to care about him. They just have to really try something different. They really do.
I've never been a Bray Wyatt guy. I know he's talented, but I just don't. Never cared about him. He's I don't know. I know he's talented, and I know people really like him, but every feud's been the same, and he always interferes and stuff where it never feels right, and then feuds come out of nowhere. I'm probably salty, too, because the Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell 2014, what a terrible ending, and then Dean Ambrose and Bray start feuding, and they have a terrible feud, and Bray just meddles in places where he doesn't belong, and his feuds never feel like they're set up great, and yeah, he's been... I love his gimmick, but I just don't feel like his gimmick is used right.
Yeah, he really needs he needs to be constantly doing something interesting, I think, with the character that he has. And they like The Undertaker, whenever they didn't have anything interesting for him, they would just kind of keep him off TV. And I don't know if that's the kind of mystique they're trying to go for with Bray Wyatt. But Bray also, if they want to make him like this mysterious figure, they also probably shouldn't have him be losing TV matches to Roman Reigns, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's just me.
Yeah, I agree. I remember... I don't know. I've just never had a moment where I was like, man, Bray Wyatt, maybe Elimination Chamber he won. And I was like, oh man, I'm pretty happy for him. But, I'm sorry. But hey, Seth's doing stuff, so maybe this will just elevate Seth. Maybe. I hope so. I love Seth.
That's true.
By the way, he was on the cover. He's on the cover for 2K18, and his intro video was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. It was really well made.
Oh yeah, that's definitely how I felt about it too. I thought it was the behind the scenes thing was interesting too.
Oh yeah, watch that.
Yeah.
I really like how they're like, he's not trying to be the next Brock. He's not trying to be the next Stone Cold. He's trying to be the first Seth Rollins. And I was like, yeah, one day we're going to look back and be like, man, Seth Rollins was one of the best.
I saw there was a video of Kevin Owens talking about it. And he's like, you know what? Next year it's going to be WWE 2KO.
2KO?
And I'm like,
2 years from now.
Kevin Owens on the cover of 2K19 would be amazing. Like, I don't know. Kevin Owens just seems like the perfect guy for the cover.
Someone would probably be like, he's too fat.
Whatever. Who cares?
I mean, I didn't say I cared, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like Kevin cared a bit. By the way, he was obviously the right choice because if they put Roman on there, people would be really mad. So Seth's like the in-between guy between
Roman doesn't need
the marks and the smarks.
Seth Rollins can at least be like, yeah, I'm on the cover. Roman could be like, oh, I haven't done that.
Oh, I wish like whenever people announce like, oh, the world heavyweight champion, they're like they announce Seth as the 2K18 cover athlete. That'd be like, oh, it's like he's got a title. I'm kidding.
And then Roman beats him, and then Roman's on the cover.
Oh yeah, they should do that. Oh my God, there should be a match
there should be a tournament.
before the cover's announced, there should be a tournament or like a match, like a finals. It's like whoever wins gets to be on the cover of 2K.
Oh my god, that would be so stupid. I love it.
That is amazing. That should be one of our booking videos. Anyways,
well, we should do another one of those next week. By the way,
we should. I can't remember anything else that happened on Raw.
Braun Strowman put Roman in an ambulance.
Oh yeah, that was great. It was just more of the same from last week, but still great.
Pretty much. Oh, a Goldust debuted with his personal cameraman.
Oh yeah. We forgot about they're officially calling Miz's group the Miz Taraj. I'm not sure I love that title, but I'm gonna have to because they're gonna use it all the time.
Yeah, it's better than the welcoming committee.
I don't know.
Miz's entourage.
I'm sure they'll do well, but they're never going to be a Mizdow. Let's just be honest here.
Mizdow was perfect. Yeah,
Mizdow was one of the best ever.
Do Holly Miz.
Holly Miz.
It's like
Miz.
Hollywood, and he's like a Hollywood star, but it's Holly Miz.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Is that Raw for the week?
Big Cass had another thing with Enzo, and they were like, they made up.
This was interesting.
Great
because,
promo.
Yeah. This was interesting because I was like, all right, let's see how they're gonna come out. Let's see how Enzo and Cass are gonna do on their own. And Enzo comes out and just says, "Bada boom, realest guy in the room." And I actually believed for a second. I was like, are they coming back together? This is really weird. Maybe you're like, it was a bad idea. It was a bad idea. Just put them back together. And then Cass ends up turning on him in the end. But for a second there, was like, are they really going to bring them back together? Just go, you know what, you're right. We can't. I thought Enzo was like a little helpless, by the way, because he was like, oh man, I know you beat me up, but let's still be buddies. Let's still do it. We got to win tag champs. I'm like, he beat you up.
I thought that for a second too, but like I was like, wait, Big Show's not going to be happy about this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe they're gonna do something, but it didn't happen in the way I thought it would. I thought it would maybe happen like next week or something. I don't know.
By the way, you really think they're gonna do Big Show and Cass?
Oh, big Show versus Big Cass, and then I think that Big Cass will go out on his own, and then it'll be Enzo and Big Show as a tag team. I actually do think that because
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it'll happen.
Because you can use Big Cass as like a singles guy. You can have another solid singles guy, and you can have Enzo and Big Show, and Enzo can still pretty much be the exact same person with Big Show.
Yeah, I don't think Enzo will ever be a different person. He's always gonna be like this.
Yeah, but he has his 7 foot tall, big giant guy. They can be a good tag team. They've also had tag team matches before. They had to in the past month, I think, against the.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I think will happen, but who knows?
Yeah, and Cass is doing well. At least Cass seems like he'll do pretty well as a heel. Mm-hmm. I like Cass. Cass is the best. He's great. So is Enzo. So I'm hoping for the best for him.
Let's go on to SmackDown. Why don't we?
Let's go on to SmackDown.
I think that's everything.
We'll leave the women's stuff for the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what ended the show. We'll leave that big discussion for the end. It was similar to how we predicted, but
do you want to know what my favorite segment of the show was?
Probably the Punjabi prison announcement.
My favorite part was the Fashion Vice episode.
Oh yeah, it was great.
I freaking loved it. It was so. It was definitely. I thought it was their best skit yet. To be honest with you, I laughed like 3 different times.
I laughed 3 different times.
Fandango's got we have a very detailed sketch, and then they have like the concert tickets. And then he's like talking to Victor. He's like, "We only listen to thrash metal. You can't take those tickets." And he's like, "Oh yeah." Oh my god!
I really like them. I don't see them ever winning the title soon, which is the sad part. But they're so entertaining. Like they're one of the best as far as tag teams go in WWE right now.
Oh yeah, Fandango's like, "Oh man, I think we were both good cops back there." And Tyler Breeze.
Oh yeah,
no, we were great cops.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And then at the end, you just see the Ascension eat all the cheese and then take the tickets. It was so good. It was just so good.
I'm still sad that at Money in the Bank it was them versus the Ascension, but they're coming back from that. They're fine.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and then that was the other thing. They're like, the Ascension's like, the only reason we came out at Money in the Bank is because we wanted a match on the card. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
it does make sense.
Yeah.
They got one over a lot of people. I can't. Other than Randy in the Punjabi prison and the women's Money in the Bank, what else happened? Oh, they were talking about the open challenge with Kevin Owens, and he was like, "How come I don't get to be on it?" Because AJ Styles was like, "It's an open challenge," and John Cena did his open challenge, and anybody could be in it, and you wouldn't let me be in it because you're scared. And this is like classic Kevin Owens like way of getting around things. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Oh yeah, you weren't local, so you don't get to be in it. It's only for local talent." Yeah. He's so entertaining as far as getting out of stuff and like being a heel goes, and this is perfect. But now they're gonna have a number one contenders battle royal next week to see who is the U.S. Number one U.S. title number one contender. Which will it be AJ Styles? Probably. I don't know, who else would it be.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say it would be because it looks like we might get a Sami Zayn Mike Kanellis feud.
Oh yeah, he did.
Baron Corbin Shinsuke.
Just because whenever Mike Kanellis and Maria were coming out, he just came out too and took their moment. So I guess they're going to feud now.
I wonder if John Cena will win it.
Oh, maybe that'd be exciting. Because he is confirmed for Battleground, but I don't know.
Which pretty much says that he isn't a free agent. It pretty much says, hey, he's going to come back to SmackDown.
Yeah. Or he could also go to Raw whenever he wants to. We don't know. But I don't know. They've done Kevin Owens and John Cena for the U.S. title, though. So we never got a second match for AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. So I don't know.
But this one's different. Maybe a triple threat. Maybe
Dolph Ziggler wins it.
Oh, yeah.
Dolph Ziggler is the weird guy who wins number one contenders matches all the time.
We sort of have an unresolved feud with AJ and Dolph. Sort of. You could just do that for Battleground. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to see Zack Ryder win it. But Zack Ryder's buried. The Hype Bros are buried.
They're not buried, but they're not doing great.
Zack Ryder came back. Let's talk about this now. Zack Ryder and the Hype Bros came back. Was this a title match?
No, it was a match. It was like a number one contenders match. If they won, then they would get a title match.
Why wouldn't it be against somebody else? Why was it a number one contenders match against the champs?
Because remember they had, before Zack Ryder got injured, they won that tag team battle royal for the number one contenders.
Yeah, but why would the number one contenders match be against the champs?
It was like, Shane was like, if you beat him, you get a title match against him. That was basically it.
It should have been like against Breezango, but whatever.
Whatever. Who cares?
I was very excited for Zack Ryder to come back. Zack Ryder is one of the best. And guess what they do? They have him lose.
He loses.
They just lose simple. Zack Ryder's back. He's losing. I love Zack Ryder. Do something with him. God. What? Why would you have him come back and already have him do nothing?
I don't know what they're... I think that he's going to turn heel against Mojo Rawley, to be honest with you.
Honestly, yeah. I could see that happening, but I don't... Do I want a heel Zack Ryder? I don't know.
As long as he wins more.
There's so much weird booking. I don't fucking get it lately. It's so weird lately.
Mm-hmm.
Like they literally just do on purpose what no one wants or expects them to do. I swear.
I can definitely see that. I can understand that. Finn Balor. Yeah.
Yeah. Zack Ryder needs to do something. He's back. You got a former U.S. IC and tag champ with you. He's done everything but win the world title, and he doesn't need to win the world title. But you have somebody with you. Do something with him.
Mm-hmm.
He could at least be like a main mid Carter. And God, he comes back and loses right away. I'm sure our friend PJ cried.
I'm sure he did too, unless he didn't see it.
Unless he didn't see it. I'm sure he saw it. Don't worry.
You're not. Yeah, you're probably not wrong there. I don't know.
All right.
But what are you going to do?
And they're doing something similar with a girl named Lana.
Oh.
She has only had 3 matches ever. And 2 of them were title matches against Naomi. And the first one at Money in the Bank, you could argue and say it wasn't good. It wasn't great. It was
decent.
Below average at worst and just average at best.
Mm-hmm.
And this match was like a squash match, and she's done for.
Before I talk about that, though, I will say that the New Day and Usos are getting a rematch at Battleground, and Big E made a really funny joke where he
referenced Booker T's. We coming for you.
But
promo. And the crowd didn't like react or anything, but I thought it was hilarious because we coming for you, Usos. We're coming for you, Usos. I love that.
Was great. But yeah, Naomi and Lana. So this is basically just both women's matches for Money in the Bank, just on this show.
Yeah, that is weird. Can't deny that. It's definitely weird.
I don't know why they're doing that with Lana. I really don't. But I think that.
By the way, she tweeted something and showed a screen cap of how she actually wasn't pinned. Her both shoulders weren't on the ground.
Right.
So
I don't think
maybe that becomes a storyline because they did that with Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch, and that's how Alexa Bliss got a rematch and won the women's title for the first time. So hey, maybe. But
we'll see.
This match was much worse than the first one. It ended very quickly. And I don't know, losing 2 world title matches like right away doesn't really cement you as like a up and coming talent who's going to do anything good. I don't know.
She's better off than Tamina.
She's better off than Bailey.
That's also true. That's
also true. Sadly. Never forget that.
Naomi as champion is run its course. Let's move on to something new.
It's pretty bad. She's a talented wrestler, but not good
entertaining
with storylines.
Yeah, not very entertaining title reign.
I can't name one Naomi storyline.
When she feel the glow.
You guys gotta feel the glow.
Isn't that bad though? Isn't it bad to feel the glow?
I don't know.
I don't know. Who cares?
It's a bad title reign.
It's one of the worst. Yeah,
it's just so uninteresting. I feel like they're only having these matches because people heard like, oh, there hasn't been any title matches with Naomi. What a great champion. She's actually on TV and has had as many defenses as Brock Lesnar. But whatever. If they're doing it for this reason, then okay. But wow.
See her do have a storyline. Yeah, like you said.
Yeah, maybe they'll do it with Carmel and have her cash in soon because that'd be interesting. So we have 2 things left to talk about. Let's talk about the stipulation. We're going to talk about it a little bit on Picks of the Week this week. So you were really excited to tell me about it. You were so excited that you were excited. You made sure not to spoil it for me. Tell me about it since you are so excited.
So I saw the video. I actually didn't watch SmackDown Live this week. I know I'm a terrible person. I did watch Raw Live, but I didn't watch SmackDown. So I saw the video pop up. Mahal reveals the WWE Battleground match stipulation, and I was like, oh my god, I'm excited for what this is. In the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, Punjabi prison? Because I had seen people talk about like, oh, wouldn't that be cool if they did a Punjabi prison match? And I'm like, all right, I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. But yeah, Randy Orton cuts a promo where he's like, oh, I'm going to RKO, I'm going to beat up Jinder Mahal, I'm going to follow him around, buy ticket to beat him up, blah, 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 blah. And Shane gives him another match, even though Shane's like, you know what, you're right though, attacking your family was too far, even though at WrestleMania 25, Randy Orton punted Shane in the head, punted Vince in the head, and then handcuffed Triple H to the rope and kissed Stephanie while she was knocked out. But moving on, that was in the past. That
was a heel run. He could just pull Seth Rollins and say, "Oh, I knew I was bad."
It was like 8 years ago. Yeah, whatever. Oh my god, I've been watching a long time. Anyways,
well, you stopped for a few years there.
Yeah, for like a year and a half, I'd say. Yeah. But Jinder Mahal, yeah, he comes out. He says, "I'm going to pick a match type that was, cornerstone by the great Khali," and I'm like, "Oh, there it is!" And he said it, and I'm like, "This can't be happening. There's no way that this is actually going to happen." And it is a Punjabi prison match between Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton.
I've seen the past Punjabi prison matches, and none of them are great. But honestly, just the fact that this is coming back is so interesting and entertaining that I'm going to be intrigued. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it like the House of Horrors and just be like, what What's going on? Like you'll watch it just like a car wreck because you're like, man, I have to watch this. I have to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. I can definitely agree with that. I'm gonna try and have fun with it. If I can't have fun with it, then it's not gonna be good. Then no one will like it. No one will like it.
If it's like, it doesn't have to be like good, like seriously. It doesn't have to be like actually good. It just has to be entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And honestly, I've been so angry the past few weeks that Rusev, not angry, but so disappointed that Rusev hasn't been anywhere. He was supposed to be at Money in the Bank, and now he's still not anywhere.
Unbelievable.
God damn it. Put Rusev somewhere. Maybe they don't want Randy to lose clean in this weird match, even though you can't lose clean in a gimmick match. But maybe have Rusev show up here. I don't know. Fucking Rusev needs to be somewhere, and I want to see Rusev versus Jinder for the title. But God, dude, God,
I'd have Rusev come in, like rip the door off, and attack Randy, and then Jinder wins that way. I'd probably do that personally.
Jinder why would he attack Randy? Why would he attack Jinder to get?
I don't know. Like you could have a Randy Rusev feud. That'd be fun. Huh? Oh wait, maybe Rusev comes out next week in the Battle Royal, and he has a feud with somebody
for the U.S. title.
No,
he needs to be in the world title scene.
Somebody in the match, like AJ Styles or something.
Yeah, I just feel like I want Rusev when he comes back to instantly be in the thick of the main event because
feuding with Randy Orton is pretty all right.
Yeah, it's Bray Wyatt. That was pretty all right, right?
Well, you know what I mean. Yeah. That was I don't know.
I do know what you mean. I was just being a little bit.
It was given no time. That's why that happened. Trust me.
Yeah. God, Rusev needs to show up. But Punjabi, it's an exciting, it's potentially exciting. I hope it's at least entertaining. I honestly doubt it won't be entertaining. So, God, I'm gonna watch it. No doubt about it. I'm gonna watch it. So, we'll see. I don't think it'll be like an actually like 5-star match. I hope it, as long as we can see what's going on, and Jinder does his Jinder things, and maybe the little Jinders come out in there. I'm sure they're gonna have a fun time. I'm sure I'm gonna have a fun time watching. That's all I can ask for.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to what they have for us. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Good. You know, I agree with you, dude. You agree with me? I agree with you.
I agree.
All right. So the women's Money in the Bank rematch. Whether you agree or disagree with the setup for it and it coming to fruition and happening again, well, it doesn't matter. It happened again. And we were worried that they were going to change things and maybe have a babyface come and win. But they didn't do that. They pulled the same thing and had Carmella win. And they kind of teased Ellsworth helping again. Well, imagine if they did that. It had Ellsworth win again. By the way, Ellsworth was banned from the building. You wouldn't have liked that.
I wouldn't have liked them doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, it would have been dumb. It would have just been funny because it was like just to piss people off, which shouldn't do things just to piss people off.
Right.
Again, like worse, but it would have been kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind what happened here.
No.
Having Carmella win again, they had Becky Lynch have a good moment. She was Bex-plexing everybody, and she stopped. What's his name? Ellsworth from getting it. He didn't get it, and then Carmella won on her own, and that was it. You could still debate that she didn't win on her own because if Ellsworth wasn't there, Becky would have won. So yeah, but I still, the match was a lot more exciting than the first one, I think.
Hey, you know what? If you don't stop talking, I'm going to make you look like Ellsworth.
Oh, God. At least that didn't happen.
Yeah.
What has she done since then?
She got beat here. But, yeah, this ended the right way. I'm not upset about it.
It did.
Yeah, this is how I wanted it to end last week. With pretty much Carmella winning. I said if Carmella didn't win, it would kind of just render the whole thing pointless. Carmella won. I'm happy. It was good. So we've had 3 Money in the Bank matches within the span of like just a couple days or a couple weeks.
Yeah, this one was really good though. I really enjoyed how it was set up. There's a bunch of people like blow and blow, blow. It was the main event too. It felt right. And honestly, there's nothing to complain about. It was a good match. It had the same good ending, and you still have a reason to hate Carmella. Nothing to complain about here. Yeah. By the way, we forgot to mention that Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn had a one-on-one match, and Baron Corbin won, which hasn't happened in a while against Sami Zayn.
I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm okay with it. If he's gonna have Money in the Bank briefcase, he shouldn't be losing. Because
then it's like, oh, maybe he loses, and you don't want him to lose. Come on. I mean, you don't want him to lose with the briefcase, and then potentially maybe lose the. I don't know. Do I want him as world champ? I will have to see, but I don't want him to lose his Money in the Bank cash in. Like, no one wants anybody to ever lose their Money in the Bank cash in. It's just so depressing. Yeah. So what else do we got to talk about? I don't really think there is anything else to talk about.
Yeah, I think that's it. So
I don't think TV was like mind blowing this week. It was fine. Really nothing to like talk home about. I mean, we are talking home about this right now, but
yeah, right.
Nothing was writing home. Yeah, why did I say talk home?
I don't know.
There was nothing, mind blowing about this week. There was nothing terrible either. It was all fine. I liked it. But as far as huge moments, you got the Punjabi prison, you got
Money in the Bank,
women's Money in the Bank, and you have the LeVar Ball stuff. And yeah, that was a bunch of weird shit that happened, and it was a weird week. What else do I say?
Yeah. So we have a couple of minutes left here.
Oh, we do.
Just thought I'd bring another question. A little question.
I don't have a question this week, so you better question me up.
I do.
Oh, do you?
I have a question. So
what are you going to ask?
A lot of talk about. We've talked a little bit about this like ratings stuff before, right?
Yeah.
Should WWE worry about their TV product?
Like what they put on TV every week?
Yes. Should they attempt to make it like really good, or should they just kind of make it bare bones, like exactly what it needs to be?
It doesn't have to always week after week be fantastic. It doesn't have to be 10 out of 10 every week, because that's impossible. When you're making a show 52 times a week, no show other than like live WWE goes 52 times a week like this, where you need to keep making a storyline. So you don't always have to make 10 out of 10 stuff, but everything should at least be consistently 7 or 8 out of 10. But also you need to cut things down, because you can't always have your best stuff on TV, because then there's no reason to have people sign up for your WWE network or buy pay-per-views. So you always do want to save the best stuff for that. That's what comes to mind personally is whenever Goldberg first won the title in WCW back in the day, they had him main event WCW Nitro against Hulk Hogan in the Georgia Dome, which is a football field. They had a Nitro in a football field. They have football fields at Wrestle fucking Mania, but whatever. They wasted a pay-per-view moment where they could have had a sold out. Tons of people would have bought it. Seeing Goldberg go for the world title, you knew he was going to win it, because he never loses. At the Georgia Dome, where he used to play football in his home and they had it on Nitro. Like, you don't always want to waste your great big TV moments when you put it on a pay-per-view. So it needs to be the best it can be, while also saving. It should set up for pay-per-views. That's what TV should do. That's where storylines progress. That's where you have moments, or it's where you have promos, and it at least needs to be. It needs to be serviceable. It needs to do what it needs to do, but also be at least consistently pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
When there's 5 hours a week, though, it's hard to always make stuff that is consistently, for that entire 5 hours, interesting, because not everyone is going to be interested in every character and what's going on. And it's just something, you have to admit it. It's just not everyone's always interested. So,
right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Do you think that
it at least needs to be good, pretty good.
Right. Do you think that the quality of their show directly affects their ratings?
See, I always thought about this, and it's like the ratings for Raw. Sometimes it's like what else is on TV that night. If you got NBA Finals, of course you're going to be. If you got Monday Night Football, of course that's good. People are going to watch that too. It depends on what their competition is, and there's some stuff where they literally just won't try after that because they know people are going to watch the NBA Finals and watch the Warriors win instead of watching, Roman Reigns do the same old. But I forgot what your question was.
Do you think the quality of their show?
Oh, quality is directly. Probably to an extent because. Are you talking about this era right now? Because you could say
I'm talking about this
the
era.
highest quality of wrestling, the best wrestling has ever been is almost not arguable. It's the Attitude Era, and that's when their ratings were the highest. Like that's when they were putting on really good TV. Everyone was watching it because they had great characters and great storylines for the most part. But if we're talking about this era, I don't know because there are some people who just can't catch it like me, and there's some people who watch it or don't watch it regardless of quality. But I think it depends how good TV was the week before too, because if something was good the week before, people are probably more likely to tune in. So that means if you have a good week that week, you're going to have people tune in the next week. So things do directly attribute to each other as far as quality goes. Because if something like really big happened and they said, oh, next week we're going to have a women's Money in the Bank match, and you had a really good setup for it, and you said on TV there's going to be a women's Money in the Bank match, you're going to have people watching it. So last week I had good TV, so I imagine the ratings were probably pretty good this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
were they?
They were about the same as they were last week, a little bit less.
And last week they were above average, so that's good.
Yeah. I think the LeVar Ball segment was the most viewed segment of the show. So.
Yeah. So I think, if TV's better, people are going to stay tuned, but I don't think it gets a huge bump if it's better. I think it gets a moderate bump if it's better, but not a huge bump.
Yeah, I think it's unavoidable that it's going to, the ratings are going to go down. Because if you look at where we were the same time last year, what was happening last year? Yeah, okay, well, let's say 2 years ago.
The brand split.
2 years ago, 1.5 about, when Seth Rollins was and the Authority were on top, Raw wasn't that great. We got 6-man tags as the main event every single show.
Kane, Big Show, Seth Rollins.
Yep. Corporate Kane in every single match ever. Roman Reigns, still rising up. Raw was not good. Raw was worse than it is right now. And ratings were much better than they are at this point. So I don't really know what to say about that. It's hard to dissect.
I do think it has something to do with it. I'm not always sure how much, obviously, but
something. Yeah,
definitely something. But not like. I do think if they make better TV, more people are going to watch, but I don't think it always has something to do with it. So yeah, there's that. That's basically They can't always make the best TV, and I think people know that. I think they've low-key admitted that too. Wrestlers have, I'm not sure writers have, but wrestlers have, like on WWE Network, like admitted that stuff. They're like, oh man, you're making show week in and week out. Some stuff you're going to throw at the wall and it won't stick. And yeah.
Yep. That's pretty much what I had to say about all that. I just thought it was an interesting question to pose.
I agree with you. Do you agree about that? Do you think better TV?
I think that a lot of it is unavoidable, but I do think there's, you might as well, if TV is going to become a thing of the past one day, I still think that it's worth it to still try and to make an entertaining show that people still want to, keep their cable subscriptions for.
Yeah, it's a good point, fair point. I think people are not going to get rid of cable because of Raw. I think they'll just be like, oh, Raw, whatever.
And we're in the day and age where matches like Roman Reigns and The Undertaker are getting announced over social media, Yeah. It's a completely different time.
I think the conversation of TV and WWE is not going anywhere. People are going to be talking about how important or not important TV is for wrestling for a long time because it's becoming less and less relevant. I at least feel. Sometimes it's not, because we literally did have a freaking Money in the Bank match on TV this week, which is a big deal. But sometimes also, you have stuff that just doesn't matter, and you could watch pay-per-view to pay-per-view. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting question, though. I'll ask the question next week. I like how we're doing this little end the show with a little conversation.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun.
We still need to set up for our watch a pay-per-view show. We'll potentially be doing that this weekend. Hopefully, maybe. We'll just have to see. I want that to come to fruition. Mm-hmm. So that was this week. Make sure you watch us listen to us on Google Play, iTunes. We got all that set up for you. Next week we'll be talking about predictions for Great Balls of Fire, talking about whatever shenanigans they do to set up that pay-per-view, and whatever happens on SmackDown next week. I'm really tired, so if I seem tired throughout this, it's because I'm tired. You guys have yourselves a good one.
See ya.